Have you ever spent hours studying for an exam, only to forget almost everything a few days later? Or maybe you've watched an amazing documentary, and by the next week, you can barely remember what it was about. It can feel frustrating. You might even think, maybe I just have a bad memory. But what if that's not true? What if your brain isn't broken? It's simply doing exactly what it was designed to do. The truth is, your brain doesn't try to remember everything. It only remembers what it believes is important. And once you understand how your brain makes that decision, learning becomes a completely different experience. Imagine trying to remember every single thing that happened today. Every face you saw. Every sound you heard. Every word you read. It would be overwhelming. That's why your brain has a built-in filter. Every second, it's asking one simple question. Is this worth remembering? If the answer is no, your brain quietly lets it go. Not because your memory is weak, but because your brain is trying to protect you from information overload. Think of your brain like the photo gallery on your phone. You probably don't save every picture you take. You keep the ones that matter most. Your brain works in much the same way. The challenge isn't just learning something new. It's convincing your brain that it's important enough to keep. And that brings us to the first secret of better learning. How do you convince your brain that something really matters? Think about the last time you were reading a page and suddenly realized you had no idea what you just read. Your eyes moved across every word, but your mind was somewhere else. We've all been there. The truth is, learning doesn't begin with repetition. It begins with attention. According to neuroscientists, attention tells your brain, this matters. Save this. Without it, new information is much less likely to become a lasting memory. That's why studying for 2 hours, while checking your phone every few minutes, is often far less effective than studying with complete focus for just 30 minutes. Your brain doesn't reward time. It rewards attention. And once you've captured your brain's attention, something even more interesting begins to happen. Here's something that surprised me. Most of us think that stress is always bad for learning, but neuroscience tells a more interesting story. There's a big difference between a short burst of stress and living under stress every day. When you learn something new and then experience a brief increase in adrenaline, your brain may treat what you just learned as more important. It's almost like your brain says, something exciting just happened. I'd better save what came before it. But here's the catch. If your body is flooded with stress all the time, that same system starts working against you. Instead of helping you remember, chronic stress can make learning and memory more difficult. So the goal isn't to eliminate stress completely. It's to stay calm while you're learning and avoid being under constant pressure every day. That small difference can make a much bigger impact than most people realize. Believe it or not, people figured out something about memory long before modern neuroscience even existed. Hundreds of years ago, there was a strange belief in medieval Europe. After children witnessed an important event, some communities would suddenly throw them into a river. It sounds shocking today, and of course, it's not something anyone would ever recommend. But the reason behind it is fascinating. They believed that the sudden emotional shock would make the child remember what had happened just moments before. Centuries later, scientists discovered something surprisingly similar. A brief surge of adrenaline after an experience can help the brain strengthen certain memories. Those medieval communities didn't understand neuroscience, but somehow they had noticed a pattern. Today, we don't need dangerous traditions. We have science to help us understand why our brains work the way they do. Now here's another surprising discovery. If you want to improve your brain, one of the best places to start might not be your desk. It might be your running shoes. Most people think exercise is only about building muscles or improving physical fitness, but your brain benefits too. Research suggests that regular cardiovascular exercise, like brisk walking, cycling, or jogging, helps create the conditions for better learning and memory. One reason is that exercise improves blood flow, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to the brain. It also supports one of the brain's most important memory centers, an area called the hippocampus. You don't need to become a marathon runner. Even regular movement, done consistently, can help keep your brain healthy and ready to learn. So the next time you feel stuck while studying, don't just keep staring at the page. Sometimes, the smartest thing you can do is get up and move. Here's a fact that surprised scientists, and it might surprise you too. What if I told you your bones do much more than support your body? They're actually active organs. And when you exercise, your bones release special chemicals into your bloodstream. One of those chemicals is called osteocalcin. Think of it as a tiny messenger. After it's released, it travels through your body all the way to your brain. Researchers believe it helps support the hippocampus, the part of the brain that's deeply involved in learning and memory. In other words, when you're out for a walk, riding a bike, or going for a run, your body isn't just strengthening your muscles. It's sending helpful signals to one of the most important learning centers in your brain. It's an incredible reminder that your body and your brain aren't working separately. They're working together every single day. By now, one thing is becoming clear. Learning isn't just about spending more time with a book. It's about giving your brain the right conditions to learn. Think about it. If you're distracted, constantly checking your phone, or feeling exhausted, your brain is already working against you. Instead of asking, how many hours should I study? Try asking a different question. How can I help my brain learn better? That might mean studying with complete focus, taking short breaks, moving your body during the day, and getting enough sleep at night. These habits may seem simple, but together, they create an environment where your brain can do what it was designed to do. Because learning isn't about forcing information into your mind, it's about creating the right conditions for your brain to hold on to it. So, if you could remember just 3 ideas from this video, I'd choose these. First, protect your attention. When you're learning something important, give it your full focus. Even 20 minutes of deep concentration can be more valuable than 2 hours of distracted studying. Second, move your body. A simple walk, a bike ride, or any regular cardio exercise doesn't just benefit your physical health, it also helps create a better environment for your brain to learn. And finally, don't underestimate recovery. Your brain isn't designed to work at full speed, every minute of every day. It needs time to rest, to recover, and to strengthen what you've learned. Learning isn't about pushing your brain harder. It's about giving it what it needs to perform at its best. So, what's the biggest lesson from all of this? Maybe the problem was never that you had a bad memory. Maybe no one ever taught you how memory really works. Your brain isn't trying to remember everything. It's trying to remember what matters. And once you understand that, everything changes. Learning becomes less about studying longer and more about studying smarter. Less about forcing information into your brain and more about working with the incredible system you already have. Science is helping us understand something remarkable. Your brain is constantly changing, constantly adapting, and constantly learning. The more you understand how it works, the better you can use it. If you enjoyed this video and want more science explained in a simple and practical way, consider subscribing to Sugat Talks. Every week, we explore fascinating ideas from neuroscience, psychology, and human biology, and turn them into knowledge you can actually use. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.